Welcome back to Community Conversations. I'm your host, Steve Mantis, and my guest today is Francis Wesley, working with the Thunder Bay Indigenous Friendship Center and the Indigenous Peoples Court Program Coordinator. So, Francis, you've talked about how this program is really, it's not about guilty or not guilty, it's about how to heal. Once a person has said, yes, I did that, I did the wrong thing, and now I want to move on. And creating an alternate way for people to participate in that and feel like they are starting to take positive steps in their life. And you talked about, well, in the brand new courthouse, there is this new special place. Tell me a little bit about that and why that matters.
Well, I think a lot of the clients that go before the system now in the mainstream court, it's fast-paced. Time is a factor. I know that the courts are trying to do the best that they can in an efficient manner to go through their dockets. Well, in this courtroom, time is not a factor. It could take, for example, on Monday, it took pretty much all day to just deal with this one individual. Mind you, we're learning as we go along. We're going to go through bumps as we proceed.
And this is really brand new. Last Monday was the first day.
Yeah, and but it's beautiful to see the elders sit in the room and participate in the court. The judge invites them. Would you like to say a few words to the client? And it's really beautiful because the clients feel. The people in the court feel comfortable, relaxed. You don't feel threatened that for any reason, and the clients feel good because they know that they're being loved by the community. They're not being hated, and I know there's restitution that needs to take place. I fully understand that, and not everybody will agree to our process, but the ones that agree to try it, they will have great benefits in the long term by becoming better citizens in the community and helping each other, and I'm sure that at some point in time in their lives they will come back and say, I was part of this court, and here I am today. I'm different now because of it. We're in our next phase. We are now setting up a framework for an evaluation to follow some of the clients to see where they're at in 5 years from now. So we're just on our baby steps in doing that. But we have learned that from other courts across the country that they could do the evaluation piece now because they've been in operation maybe 2 years for some of them. They have to backtrack and find the people, whereas so that's the advice they had given us when we visited the courts in BC.
And so that in a way, that support circle you're talking about to help with that healing, I mean, those support circles are becoming more and more common in all kinds of healthcare issues, and addictions are a health issue for sure. So does that support circle go on into the future, or how does that work?
Well, I think more collaboration needs to take place, not just with within our Indigenous Peoples Court, because there's mental health courts that are starting to pop up throughout the country. Kenora has a mental health court, and we're looking at. There's other similar courts that have drug treatment courts or alcohol treatment courts, and they're functioning well, I guess, because we visited some of those courts while on our journey when we're collecting information, collecting data, and and meeting with the judges, see how it works. So we've learned a lot in the last 2 years, and been very grateful to have met so many people who helped us throughout our journey in developing this system, right within an institution. It was kind of challenging working in a big, large institution, and I shared with you that I had to understand how they operate, and or
Sure.
sometimes I overstep boundaries I shouldn't have, and or vice versa. They have the fears too of, what if I step on people's toes in regards to talking about traditional values and traditional ways. So we had training sessions. We conducted 9 sessions during the month of January and February. It was a lot. And we did traditional teachings to all the court services staff here at the courthouse. It's probably the first time that ever happened here in Thunder Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about the process to all the lawyers and crowns, and they all participated in training, which was really good, because I'm sure they still have a lot of questions, but the door is open. They can come anytime to talk to the judge, saying, okay, I have a client I think may be interested in being part of this, or would they qualify? And yeah, so there's still a lot of learning that we have to undertake, but I believe that this is a really good thing.
So it sounds like a real true collaboration where people learned about each other and worked out ways that they can work together productively. And the little bit I know about justice and crime, they say, if you want a person to be a criminal, well, then you should send him to jail, because that's where they learn how to do all that stuff. So we're looking at an alternate path here.
An alternate path.
To put people on a path of healing rather than...
Well, the longer you stay in jail, the angrier you get.
Yeah.
I don't know how you heal in jail. Even if you do have some jails or some institutions will offer cultural supports, but not enough. And you come out, you still have to face the community. So how do you do that? So the way we're doing it is that we're trying to save us taxpayers money by putting people in jail. It's not cheap.
Oh yeah, going to jail is very expensive.
Yeah, it's got to be, I read somewhere it's like $200 a day to keep a person in jail. So, and to keep them out of jail is $7 a day.
Right.
And then and it's $7 to help revive, help to heal that person, and to become contributing members in our society.
So this may be something that could be used for anyone down the road.
I say the reason why the Indigenous population agreed to do is because of the high overrepresentation of our Aboriginal people going before the courts. 90%, that's a lot.
90% of the folks in jail?
Yes, yep.
Oh my goodness.
There's an article that was written recently by Maclean's magazine, that's their next residential school.
Right, and that's not where we want to be training people.
That's not where we want. No.
We want them to be integrated into the community and to be active in the community just like anyone else.
Yep.
Frances, it's been great to have you on the program. I wish you
Thank
the
you.
best in this program. It's brand new and it looks like it's got a lot of potential.
Oh yeah.
If people want to find out more, what's the best way for them to find out more
Well, they can go
information?
to our website. It's www.tbifc.ca, and I provide you information. Or they can call the Friendship Center at 345-5840.
Frances, thank you so much again. Remind people we're on Facebook and we're always looking for your comments and suggestions. Thank you and goodbye.